In today's video, how do you get stronger?
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. Thank you for tuning in for today's video where I am going to explain how you get stronger, and I'm going to do it based off a question I got on my Instagram direct message. So check the screen here, follow my Instagram. Also, subscribe to the channel while you're here. It's free. And click like if you enjoy the video, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments because that's what gets me excited, is the fact that you guys are engaging with me when I see you out in public. You're saying hello, and you're sending me the direct messages, so I appreciate it. Fantastic question today, and so I'm going to read it off to you and put it on the screen here because it's got some length to it. I'm currently in a lean bulking phase and in a caloric surplus of 250 above maintenance at 145 protein, 70 fat, 300 carbs. Weight is gradually increasing, but unfortunately my strength is not. There are often days where I'm actually having to decrease the weight on my lifts as I fatigue too early. I'm always well hydrated. I sleep approximately 7 hours a night. Body composition is also changing as I'm starting to notice more fat in certain areas, which are accumulating quite rapidly. I'm training 3 to 4 days a week and mostly upper-lower sessions and have 2 years of lifting experience. Please help. What can I do to increase strength and create lean muscle mass? Fantastic message, fantastic email, and I feel like, honestly, I'm gonna be speaking to myself here because you're at that period where you've gone from noob, from beginner, to an intermediate lifter, to an intermediate physique athlete, and man, is it tough. It's very tough. In fact, it was so tough for me that I would often stop going to the gym for a couple weeks at a time and then go back and find my excitement again. And so what I'm going to do is explain to you what I found, what type of training style that I found that got me over that, got me through, and has kind of fed me. But only about 10 years ago did I find, maybe 12 years ago, did I find that thing that I needed to continue to get stronger progressively over long periods of time. Because early on in my lifting career, we kept hearing things like overtraining. You're training too much. Also things like, you know, doing tons of training volume in a single session and leaving your body so sore that it can't move for days at a time. And while there's some value there, and there's some value in all these approaches, what I find is that a sustainable approach to training should allow you to get progressively stronger over long periods of time. But first, let's address your diet. Now, first thing you said was you're at about 250 calories above your maintenance on a daily basis. So this means that over a given week, yeah, you're probably going to gain a little bit of weight. But what do we know about muscle? Well, if you've been lifting for 2 years, you've already put on a good amount of muscle, okay? So you've gone through that noob phase where you're basically putting on muscle every time you lift a weight. And now what you're doing is you're going to be putting on muscle very slowly. That's right. It is the law of diminishing returns, my friend, that we have to be aware of here. I wish that we could put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle just like the first year, every year thereafter, okay? Lean body mass gets more and more difficult to add over time. However, as though that sounds sad, I will say this. To me, it becomes more significant because although you're not able to add 15 pounds every year like you did the first year, the next year, if you only add 5, it's on top of 15. Right? So I myself am looking at this point to just fine tune my physique after 25 years, and maybe you'll get there. But I'm literally just looking to like add some size to like some shape in the muscles in my body. I don't expect the scale to change that much anymore, but it did take me 25 years to get to this place mentally. And so I'm hoping that you'll come to understand what I'm about to tell you. And that is, you do not need to eat over maintenance to build muscle. Let that sink in. Maintenance is maintenance. Now, your maintenance might change over time, but it's certainly not going to change by 250 calories a day. Okay, so if you're gradually seeing the scale go up, that's a good thing. If the scale is constantly going up, that is body fat. And body fat, over time, can actually become a problem for strength. So I would suggest you back off the diet a little bit. Bring down those 250. Your macro ratios are fantastic. Maybe just pull back the carbs a little bit. Maybe you just start doing a little bit of walking or steady state. But then I'm going to get into what I really think the trick is going to be for you. the trick for you is going to be this. You're training 3 to 4 days a week. So there's a great opportunity here for you to train 4 to 5 days a week, okay? When you say 3 to 4, I always think you're doing 3 and you're trying to impress me, but I could be wrong. So if you're training 3 days a week, obviously you're going in, you're doing push, pull, legs, you're getting a little bit of training volume. The thing that changed for me was when I was introduced to a non-linear style of training, meaning instead of going in the gym and lifting really heavy at the beginning of the workout and high reps at the end of the workout, which is a great approach, I still do it to this day sometimes, I was introduced to a training protocol where you lift in a powerlifting range, okay? So somewhere in the 5 to 8, 5 to 10 rep range with all your lifts early in the week, and then later in the week you lift in the hypertrophy range, which is generally around 10 to 12, 10 to 15, maybe for some lower body parts, even 20 to 30 reps for some stuff. But the idea here is that you're training in a nonlinear fashion and you are fatiguing muscle fibers at different times of the week. So you're actually able to get in more training volume and recover better, thus increasing lean body mass because you're actually getting more resistance training in. The best thing you can do over time for muscle is total training volume increases. Now, that doesn't mean that you can train at 30% of your 1 rep max and see muscle gains forever. You do need to use some heavier weights and pay attention over time to progressively overloading. That's really where the magic is. So if you're only training 3 days a week and you're telling me you're feeling weak, well, it probably sounds to me like you're not progressively getting stronger because your workouts are not advanced enough for where you've gotten. You've reached this point by doing what you've been doing. Now it's time to change. So I want you to look up non-linear periodization, okay? This is where you're gonna train every body part twice a week. So on Monday, you might hit your chest, and on Thursday, you might hit your chest. On Monday, you might focus on 5 to 8 reps on all the movements, and on Thursday, you might focus on 10 to 20 reps on all the movements, okay? So you're giving yourself a little bit of time to recover, you're giving yourself a little bit more variation in your training style. It's also kind of fun because the one day of the week you're going in there and you're picking up some heavy weights like a barbarian. Mike O'Hearn has something called power building, kind of has a similar idea behind it, but there is a value in lifting heavy. We're guys, we like to go in there and grab the big dumbbells and do some stuff. So you're going to do that, but then you're also going to use another day of the week to lift higher reps. And there's some real value in that, okay? So you can do 2 leg days a week. You can do 2 push days a week, and you can do 2 pull days a week. You can do a back and bicep day, and you can do a chest and shoulder day, and you can do 2 leg days, and then maybe you throw an arm day in there, or maybe you put arms on those other days as well. If you can only go 4 or 5 days a week. Now, I can't really design a training program for you. I would love to. That's what I do for my clients. But you can look up some great templates out there. Look up something called Power Hypertrophy Adaptive Training. I think it's on simplyshredded.com. Maybe I'll put a link to it below, but you get the idea. The idea is that you're looking for a training system that allows you to train with more frequency, and you're also getting off this kick of just trying to gain more weight. You don't need to gain weight to get stronger, okay? There is some added value in being heavier when it comes to some of the compound lifts, okay? But it doesn't really matter if your goal is lean body mass, okay? The goal for lean body mass should be to maintain a nice body composition, gradually walking the calories up over time, which is going to be a very, very slow process versus these huge increases in calories that you're experiencing. And it sounds to me like you're just uncomfortable. So hopefully that helps a little bit and you guys understand what I'm talking about. If not, let me know in the comments below and I can give you some more detailed information. Maybe I need to make these videos a little bit more kind of methodical. I've been thinking about doing that, instead of just chatting with you guys, because it does feel like I need to get a little more granular and a little more detailed. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.